headlines. 7 die as trailer crushes 20 in Imo State. Frontline troops kill 21 terrorists, rescue 386 civilians. Federal government to overhaul school infrastructure in Northeast. And the foreign scene hospital overwhelmed as Israel bomb refugee camp in Gaza. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for joining. And on news in detail, a tragic accident occurred at the busy Imo State University IMSU Junction in Owerri, Imo State on Saturday night, leaving 7 people dead instantly and injuring several others. Around 7 p.m., a moving trailer lost control and struck about 20 people. Eyewitnesses reported that the heavy-duty truck was driving against traffic when it rammed into 3 minibuses, each carrying 9 passengers. The impact resulted in immediate fatalities, with 7 people confirmed dead at the scene. Some victims have been rushed to the Federal University of Technology Hospital Owerri Futo for treatment, while the deceased have been taken to the morgue. And journalist Chidwe Bube Okioma described how the truck collided with the minibuses, which were traveling closely behind one another. Pastor Anthony John, a sympathizer, urged people to check on family members and acquaintances that might have been on the road at the time of the incident. The accident caused heavy traffic congestion on Okigwe Road as people flocked to the scene to locate missing relatives who were not answering phone calls. The wreckage of the vehicles has blocked a significant portion of the road, exacerbating the traffic situation. And now, Brigadier General Abubakar Haruna, the Acting General Officer commanding 7th Division and the Commander Sector 1 of the Nigerian Army, paid a morale-boosting visit to the troops fighting Boko Haram in Sambisa Forest. He commended them for their recent success in killing 21 Boko Haram terrorists, destroying their camps and rescuing 386 civilians. General Haruna made these remarks while addressing the troops on the outskirts of Sambisa Forest in Kondoga local government area following a successful 10-day operation.
You have done wonderfully well. Everybody is happy with you. They called me from Gambia to tell me they saw what we did. That's Gambia, our troops in Gambia. The Chief of Army Staff is highly pleased with your performance. Gentlemen, you have done your bit. You have sacrificed yourselves to ensure that peace or normalcy returns to Maiduguri. This is a wonderful outing, and we are really happy. We have to sacrifice whatever it is to come, so that you know that we are with you always.
Amidst growing concern of maternal and infant mortality rates in the country, some expectant mothers within the FCT are unable to access antenatal care services due to the rise in the cost of services. Trust TV's Daniel Zegi, and this report says there are growing concerns of a rise in maternal and infant mortality if the situation is not arrested. Her report.
While the rising cost of living is having its impact on aspects of livelihoods, the current reality is set to hinder some expectant mothers from enrolling for necessary antenatal care services. Contrary to the World Health Organization's recommendation for a minimum of 8 visits and contacts with health services for pregnant women globally, Aisha Umar, a 7-month pregnant mother of 1, is yet to establish 1 visit to any healthcare facility for antenatal care.
During my first pregnancy, I was able to access antenatal care, but it was 1,000 naira then. but it is now up to 5,000 naira. So for now, we cannot afford it.
When she feels unwell, she takes paracetamol as access to professional healthcare is far from her reach.
I hope to give birth at home, so I have been praying that it does not come with complications because I have people here that will help me.
She also speaks of a neighbor who cannot register for antenatal care. At the Dutse Makaranta Primary Healthcare Center, Augustina Onyechi is in charge of antenatal care.
There is a reduction. Take for example, as our last day there were like up to from beginning to the end, we're up to like 200 women. But now with the current challenge, the current economic situation that has reduced. For now, we just have like 100 and something, and we're almost half in the year. So it's not even up to 100 and something, we're almost half in the year. So that's to show you that the women are not really coming as much. Most of them will prefer stay at home, but we have been doing like going for outreaches to talk to them.
The story of access here is no different. Nurse Augustina is saddened by the decision of some pregnant mothers to seek help outside the hospital as they end up with life-threatening complications. Despite this concern, Aisha is wishing for a seamless delivery while preparing to have her baby at home with no skilled assistance. Dana Daniel Zagi, Trust TV News.
Some residents of the Federal Capital Territory have described the federal government's plan of paying workers' salaries according to productivity as a clear case of robbing Peter to pay Paul. They made their position known while speaking to Trust TV's Lillian Ogazi. The report.
The federal government had on Wednesday said an innovative wage system that will now be based on employees' productivity in the civil service is on the way. This implies that employees will be paid based on their level of productivity. In a swift reaction, the NLC questioned what the government meant by productivity.
What does government mean by productivity? You should ask them. Because what we do, we go to work, we work. If you don't do your work, you get a query. Work piles up. So what do they mean by productivity? And let me also say this here and now. If government is prepared to privatize the public sector, let it go ahead and privatize it. People go to work and they work. They deliver on their work. But if government now wants to bring in some of the extreme policies in the private sector, where one person does a job of perhaps 6 persons. Let government bring it. We are waiting. And you and I also know that even when the private sector, when they go to that extreme, they also pay.
Nigerians, on the other hand, shared their diverse views on the proposal.
I don't think they can achieve that, really, because it will amount to monkey is it babu they work or monkey they chop things. That's not how they can achieve that, really. The only thing they can do is just balance the minimum wage based on how the condition of the country is.
That's not feasible because you can't judge people's productivity level, especially in the government sector, right? Yeah, because if that's the case, most lower staff tend to do more work. Yeah, they tend to be stressed. So if we're going to take it by that, it means that they should be paid more, which will not fly. You know that it won't fly.
It's a good initiative, but then we don't have all that it takes to implement such a policy. Looking at the fact that even the person who is supposed to checkmate the people in the civil service is even not competent. I'm sorry to use that. Is even not competent to be in that office. So he doesn't even know what it means to checkmate.
If implemented, workers on the same level could earn different salaries. Lillian Ogazi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The federal government has launched a multi-year accelerated senior secondary school education program aimed at overhauling school infrastructure, modernizing curricula, and integrating virtual learning technologies in the Northeast region. This initiative was announced on Saturday and is a key policy drive to bridge the educational divide in Nigeria. According to Stanley Wokocha, Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President of Media and Communications, the program's goals are to enhance access to tertiary institutions, impart market-relevant skills, and upskill teachers to adapt to innovations like artificial intelligence. Vice President Kashim Shettima unveiled the initiative in Bauchi State, emphasizing that it aligns with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's vision to address the Northeast challenges, including the security crisis and stagnant human capital outcomes. Shettima noted that education is crucial for personal and societal advancement, and this program seeks to ensure future generations have the same educational opportunities. Under this program, the government plans to stimulate high-quality instruction, incentivize STEM achievement, revamp dilapidated classrooms, and foster an enriching academic environment through innovations like quiz competitions, exam coaching camps, and intensive teacher training. The Northeast Development Commission is tasked with executing President Tinubu's vision for the region. And now to Anambra State, where the governor, Chukwuma Soludo, has dismissed all transition committee chairmen across the state 21 local government areas. And the directive was issued in the later titled Expiration of Tenure and Handover to Heads of Local Government Administrations dated May 17, 2024, and signed by the State Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Community Affairs, Conlis Nwabuane. The order takes effect from Monday, May 20th, 2024. The action follows the expiration of tenure PF and the Transition Committee while directing them to hand over to the affairs of their local government council to the head of the local government administration. You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up shortly after the break, we'll take a look at how Jigawa residents are preserving a popular tree that is near extinction. Details of this story and more shortly after the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. This is the Trust News Update, and let's look at our top headlines again. We told you earlier that 7 die as trailer crushes 20 in Imo State. And the frontline troops killed 21 terrorists to rescue 386 civilians. Moving on, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps Commandant General's Special Intelligence Squad has uncovered and dismantled an illegal refining site containing over 100,000 liters of stolen crude oil in Adobe Settlement, a local government area of Rivers State. DC Dandaura Apollos, commander of the CG's Special Intelligence Squad, credited this success to credible intelligence that revealed suspects had vandalized a multinational company's wellhead and connected galvanized metal pipes with large hoses to siphon crude oil and process it locally. In a statement released on Saturday, NSCDC spokesperson Babawale Afolabi detailed the findings at the crime scene. The operation uncovered several sites involved in the illegal refining of stolen crude oil. The crime scene included reservoirs cemented with trampoline filled with approximately 100,000 liters of crude oil. Now, baobab tree, also known as Adansonia digitata, is an iconic and ancient tree species that is native to Africa and Australia. Despite being rich in minerals and vitamins, the baobab tree is, however, going extinct because of human activities like tree felling and rapid urbanization. Ali Rabiu speaks to some residents of Jigawa on the importance of the tree and the implications of its drift to extinction. His report is here presented.
Baobab trees are known for their unique massive trunk, which can store up to 32,000 gallons of water, allowing it to survive in dry environments as it can withstand drought. Earliest documented reports about the tree were from the 14th century travel log by famous Arab traveler Ibn Battuta, according to Wikipedia. Researchers say the cultural significance of the tree is considered sacred in many African cultures because it is often used as a meeting place, shelter, and as a source of food and water. The baobab tree, a symbol of resilience and vitality in northern Nigeria, is however facing a decline due to various factors. Among trees identified by researchers as endangered in Jigawa State are baobab and tamarindus, as they are commonly exploited for firewood, mortar and pestle, or medicinal purposes. The decline of baobab tree in northern Nigeria has significant ecological, cultural and economic implications, highlighting the need for conservation efforts and sustainable management practices to protect this iconic species.
Baobab tree was found to be effective in controlling this insect attack because some researchers shows that it has ovicidal property, probably that means they kill the eggs, or it has larvicidal property, that is when they turn to larva, because you know insect, they lay eggs and the eggs now turn to larva, from larva to pupa, then to adult. So usually before they turn to even pupa, this plant material, that is the leaves, because they have some compounds, which usually they are the one that kill the insect or they repel the insect. So actually it has an insecticidal property. If the government can invite us, let us come and have a round table, talk about it. Let's have some funds. Yes, because anything that you have to do funds, create a lab. We are going to bring out the biopesticide, that means insecticide made from different types of plant that can either repel the insect so that the insect will not come, or kill the insect before they reach adult stage.
He called on the government and non-governmental organizations to partner with botanists and entomologists to come up with an eco-friendly biopesticide, particularly from baobab leaves, to reduce damage caused by insect pests. Some residents of Jigawa said while some Hausa communities use the dried leaves of baobab to make a delicious soup called miyar kuka, its fruit is used for some artificial milk, with the bark used for making ropes. They are calling on the state government to take measures to avert further destruction of the trees.
Baobab tree has many benefits because we pluck the leaves and use it for soup, and using bark of the tree to make rope, using it to tie livestock. Also the seeds, we use it for milk. Fortunately, the tree is still increasing and it took much longer before it dies. But in another way, it's declining due to urbanization that leads to cutting off the economic tree. We used to pluck and dry baobab leaf, grind it and use it to make soup. Its bark also we use it to make rope, also its seeds for milk. But the problem is that the tree is declining due to some constructions that is taking place and the smaller trees are not being planted.
They advised the government to establish a factory that would produce and process products from the baobab tree.
The Nigerian Union South Africa has condemned the killing of Prince Muoka Ebuka, a 43-year-old Nigerian from Obosi, Anambra State. The incident occurred on the morning of Friday, May 17, 2024, in Daniel's School, Northern Cape, South Africa. In a statement signed by NUSA National Publicity Secretary Habib Miller, the union detailed the harrowing event reported by Ebuka's wife, Joyce. According to Joyce, law enforcement officers stormed their home, forcing her to evacuate with their young child to avoid the violence. The officers assaulted Ebuka, accusing him of possessing drugs. When no drugs were found, they took him to a waste dump, alleging he had hidden illegal substances there. Eyewitness reported serious misconduct by the officers, including requests for pepper spray after leaving Ebuka's residence. Despite using drug detection methods, no drugs were discovered, and the intense interrogation led to Ebuka's death, raising concerns about the investigation's integrity due to the improper preservation of the crime scene. Miller noted that the police refused to issue a statement or allow the family to open a case docket, and Joyce Ebuka faced intimidation when she tried to report her husband's death. Nusa had demanded a thorough and impartial investigation into Ebuka's killing and brother police abuses in Northern Cape. Abdurrahman Balogu, spokesperson for the Nigerian In-Diaspora Commission, condemned Ebuka's death, emphasizing that one death is too many. Balogun called for a thorough investigation and accountability for those responsible. And for matters outside the shores of the country, an Israeli strike targeting a house in Nazareth refugee camp has killed at least 31 people, with a day after at least 64 Palestinians were killed in intensified Israeli air and ground attacks across Gaza. Rescuers are searching for missing people feared trapped under the rubble. At least 900,000 Palestinians have been forcibly displaced yet again over the past week as Israel ratchets up its deadly incursions into Gaza. Israel's War Cabinet member Benny Gantz threatens to quit the government of Benjamin Netanyahu should the Prime Minister fail to present a post-war plan for Gaza by June 8. At least 35,386 people have been killed and 79,366 wounded in Israeli attacks on Gaza since October 7. The death toll in Israel from Hamas's attack is 1,139, with dozens still held captive. And now in sports, in a split decision on Saturday night in Saudi Arabia, Alexander Usyk staged a stunning comeback to defeat Tyson Fury and become the undisputed heavyweight boxing champion. Usyk, the Ukrainian boxing sensation, showcased a dominant performance in the later rounds to claim the WBC title, unifying it with his WBA, WBO, IBF and IBO belts in front of a packed arena. The fight saw Usyk in trouble midway after being rocked by a punch from Fury. However, he made an impressive recovery to secure the win. The early rounds were tight and tense as both heavyweights sized each other up. Fury began to find his rhythm and landed significant blows, unsettling Usyk. And despite appearing down and out, Usyk gradually worked his way into the fight from the 8th round onwards, ultimately dominating and securing his victory. With that, we have come to the end of the news update at this hour. For more, follow our live streaming on YouTube and our social media platforms as well. On behalf of the news crew, my name is Martia Umar. Thank you for being a part of the news and stay tuned to Trust Television. Bye for now.